finally it is time, so let's continue with part 3 of the file for the book. It's been like a couple of weeks since I posted part 2, and it was not my intention to have so many weeks in between recording and making, but I got really distracted by products that I bought, new sets that came out, and I just got ideas in my head and I had to do it. So now I'm really focused on finishing this project and making a really nice booklet out of it. And so let's see how far I am and what needs to be done. So these two are done. So this was part 1 of the video. I made this one. So this file folder, and it was my intention, of course, to use the file folder and also to use these graphic layers, and these are all from Tim Holtz. And then, of course, the color green with an accent of this blue Kraft-stock, and to use as much as I can from the specimen die set. And then just see where my creativity leads me. So this is the first. And the theme, let me explain the theme, was that the first is collectors. And those are the collectors. And they are collecting curiosities. And I had these beautiful shells from the graphic layers, and this fish and this trunk. So this is the second one. So now I'm going to continue with the third one, and it is still blank. But let me show you the staple ingredients are that I want to use my rub-ons. And although I have stamp sets and I will also use them, I want to use the rub-ons. And of course this third will be the specimen folder. I use the die set specimen, and I'm using a lot of these. And I really like them, very versatile set. So these two, and these stamps I'm using now for the third, for the specimen file folder. I will use this, and maybe random pieces of this if I need it. So these are the staples. So I already had selected some stuff. And of course the folder, so it is quite blank now. And I have, for graphical layers, I have this one, and I have some of these bottles, and I still don't know what I'm going to use. Well, I'm definitely going to use this one, but I don't know if I'm going to use these bottles. And I have a bag here. I have this magnifying glass. This looks pretty awesome to use. And I have this one. So I selected these. They are a little bit in the theme. So this, of course, the tab that I'm going to use. And as you can see, the tabs here in the first and in the second, and the third will be here. Then I have a piece of embossing folder that looks really nice. So that's also one of my distractions. That I bought it, and and I've not really used it. I think it's very lovely, but now I'm looking for ways to use it. So this could be a way to use. I have this stamp. It's from the Field label, but I think I want to stamp it in a different color, maybe in the blue, because I want some accents in blue. I have this label. This is very nice to use. I have just a black label from the black Kraft-stock, and I have a number label. I already so I started today, and I stamped some of the insects from the Entomology stamp set. Let me show you again this stamp set, and it has 4 of these beetles, I think you call them, on it. This big one, and this one, this one, this one. So 4. So I've stamped them a couple of times, and I'm going to die cut them, because I have the die cut set that matches this, because this will be very very time consuming to fussy cut all these little legs. So I have this one, and I have some cotton. I have already cut some strips, and I want to do some coffee dyeing of this fabric, and I thought to do a little coffee dye on this, so it will not be that white. So that's what my thoughts were. I did a coffee dyeing, and I really like the results. I did some extra splattering, and I also dyed some extra labels and some paper. But first, let me show you the bugs. And I already cut, because I just couldn't help myself, cut 2 out. Just look at them. Really nice. And then the fabric is also very nice. And I think I'm going to cut it in the middle, so I have like a extra raggedy edge. And this is just because I'm constantly touching and folding it, it will become more natural raggedy with all the threads. So I think I'm going to cut this. I have this extra piece with the coffee stains on it. Coffee dyed some copy paper, just some regular printer paper. And I stamped on here the Field label in the Uncharted Mariner, because that color is so close with this color of the Kraft-stock. And first I cut a label out, and it was like this. And I thought that is really like straight, and I just wanted a more distressed look. So I also tore one out, and I think this is better. And I'm going to distress it a bit more with some ink, and but I think this is very nice. And this of course I'm going to keep and put it in my ephemera box. And I also dyed some, like, it is kind of a school paper for mathematics and so. And I cut it, and I cut it into a little book that is the size of the file folder. And I already did the specimen rub on. So that is the first embellishment on the folder. And I did some testing with what kind of color I want to use. And I kind of like the Uncharted Mariner, but I think I want to do it very light. So This one is a bit intense in the blue, but here you can see it's a bit lighter, and I like it like that. So I want to try that, and I'm not going to do the whole folder, but I'm just going to do some bits. And I think I'm going to start with that because that will be the first layer, and only on the inside. And because now I still have a flat surface, I'm going to do a stamp on the front and back. I think I like this. And let's first start with this side. So that is a world of difference, right? When you distress the edges. Okay, so I think I'm ready for gluing this, except I have to, of course, do the breads. And let's find some. I will come back. That's very nice. Do I already want to? I can wait with the gluing because it is, and wait for what I want to do here. I want to use the fabric, and I want to, haven't still figured it out exactly how I want it, but I did want to cut it. And I was also thinking about putting breads in, but then bigger ones. This will look nice on here. Also, as to size, I think it's a really nice size. So I think I'm going to use these to attach this. But first, let's make sure that what I want to put on here is here. And maybe I want to do a little bit of color distressing. I don't know. Is this enough, or do I want it a little bit more distressed? So let's see, I have here in my box, I have like this one and I have this one. But I also need the other two, and I still have to die cut it. Let's do that. Okay, so this two, and then I need to die cut it. They are lovely, right? And I did choose these ones because I was thinking everybody does butterflies. So I'm just going to do these fellas because I do like them. And I think they're more grungy specimen. So let's see how I want to do that. So I have these two pieces. And then I have these. I've chosen these two because of the shape, and they will fit nicely. And then this one and this one. And I kind of want to do something, I don't know, I could use collage paper on fabric. That goes very well. Stamping is an option, which I quite like the idea of stamping. Maybe I will do the stamping because, you know, on this stamping set, the Obscure, also has this small text. Put this back. This text, which you cannot read, is just very faint, and that would also be very nice to put in the background. Then let's see, what steps do I need to do first? I think first putting the beetles on top. And then, do I want something more? Let's see, this one is here with this one, and then this one here. No, the small one on top. So let me think about if I want something extra with these. I'm gonna give it a little bit of thought and I will come back. So I had a sip of tea and a piece of chocolate. I came up with something to make it more interesting. And I already did this one, as you can see. And it didn't do much, but it's way more interesting than this piece. See the difference. So what did I do? And I will do this with this piece so you can see. I collaged with the kitchen towel that was underneath the coffee dyeing. So it was this piece and I just kept it. And I will tear a piece off. See if this is enough. Maybe another piece. It's 2 pieces. So it's like this, and it's also a bit structured, as you can see. That is also gives also a nice element. And then I will just put little pieces. I will collage it, and then it will give just a little bit more of that orangey brown color. So, and I will use the collage gel medium. Just randomly collage, just little pieces, and I will put a little bit on the kitchen towel, position it, press it down, and then I will put a little bit on top. And then with my big scissors, I will cut off the excess. Okay. And this is the result. It's still a bit wet, so when it's dry, it gives it a little bit more darker result. And let's see, just continue. And this one is going underneath, so you won't see the top bit. So I think I will like it like this, and then I will glue the beetles. Let's see, which one do I want? This one here, this one here. Let's glue down the bottom one first, and for this I will use the art glitter glue, so it will get stuck immediately. And I will use a bigger dots on the leg, so it will attach a little bit in the middle and stick it down. I was thinking about, do I want some labels or things with it, and I could do like maybe if it's dry, a number stamp. That would be maybe nice to do that on the side, but then it needs to be really dry. But I don't want any more text because of the background stamp. That I think that's enough already. But I don't have that much numbers on this page, so that could be that I will look in the field labels or the eccentric for some nice numbers. But what I also did, because of the coffee dyeing, the stamps got a little bit how do you say it, dull, not shiny, and beetles always have like a shiny shield. So I used some of the micro glaze, and just a little bit, I just did it with my finger, put some only on the body. So it gives a little bit of shine. You know, it's just those little accents that really make a difference. And you won't have to use that much. And I just use this cloth to polish it a little bit. And it's still a little bit wet, but you can see it gives a little shine to it, and that's enough. So I think this is needs to dry. This one I already did with a heating tool, but it's not exactly dry, so I think it needs to dry before I can really stamp it. But I could see if I could find a stamp. It's also a little bit smaller. Oh, I do like that one. I like that one. And I have another one, this, that's smaller. And maybe I could use that one here on this one. So I think I will do that. So I'm going to dry it and then stamp it. And then let's see how it looks like, and then we will attach it with the bread. So I'm gonna dry it now. So everything is dry, and I already did a test stamp, and I do like this. I used the Versifying Clair, the black one, and on this fabric it is not too juicy black, so because the fabric also will absorb a lot of the ink. So I do know that I want this number on here, like there. So I'm going to ink it up, and let's see, position it a little bit like here. Right. Really nice. I do like it. And then the other one, let's see, where do I want that number? I'm going to do it there. Ink it up. Sometimes even if you're doubting, you have to kind of make the decision. Let's see. Here. Ooh, that's very juicy, but it's okay. And I was kind of thinking of a circle stamp, but then not in black. Or will that be too much? Let's see, clean stamp, and then I do have two circles, like a smaller and a bigger one. Let's see. It's this big one and this smaller one. So if I use the smaller one on here, that would be very nice. I think the bigger one would be way too big. Or I think the smaller one. Also make the decision, and then I think I want it in a blue color, and I think I will use a VersaFine Clear, because then I think that will attach better than when I use the Uncharted Mariner. I think. Yes, I'm going to do this. And then here. Oh, I like that. That was really good. And do I also want one here? The top part you probably will not see that much, so it's going to be either here or here. I think down. Here. It's done. So that will be enough. And now I'm going to attach everything to the page. Let's see. This one is going under and this one over. Probably this ink is still a little bit wet, so I have to be careful not to touch it. And then put this here with bread. Let's get my crocodile out, and then I will use the smaller hole, and I'm just going to like guesstimate it. Let's see. One. I could use this tool. And then the width here. And one here. All right. Big holes, but it will fit with the breads, and they are kind of long, so I could cut a piece off if necessary. Turn it. I'm just a little bit, don't know if it's all really visible. But it just peeks to the end. And if I just press it down, it is possible like this. Let's see how the other one goes. And then just fiddling a little bit, putting the bread in. Oh, and this one will peak, so I have to cut this one. So this is peaking a little bit. Pressing it flat. And I know you can cut it with this scissor. I always am worried I'm going to break it, but it's capable of doing that, and you will not see it on the scissor. It's just a miracle. Let's see. So this is very nice, and then it will look like this. Great, right? It's just the right amount of embellishing. And then this page. I'm not gonna decorate this one. I'm just gonna leave it as is. And then going to glue this on here. And this one on here. So the inside kind of is finished, and I think I'm going to leave the gluing for now, because then I can maybe do something here without it being bulky underneath. So I'm going to save this. The ink can dry, and I'm going to continue with the other sides. So I had kind of an idea for the front. Get my little tray here, and I thought about doing this one on the back, and I thought about doing a bottle on the front and the magnifying glass. How was I thinking about doing that? Like this. And this. And did I want something else on it? I don't know if I want this back. It could maybe be enough just like this. And I have a circular die. And I was thinking about cutting out a circle out of this magnifying glass, and I was yesterday I was just looking for a circle that was kind of the size, and this is kind of the size. And then I'm going to use my rub-ons for embellishing it. So then it would be like this. And do I want a label? But I could use it here. I think I will like this. And then I saw in the rub-ons that I have the toxic. Was thinking about putting that on the bottle. And I also have some beetles that I want to put in the magnifying glass. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I first want to cut the magnifying glass. Well, it's not bad, but maybe I am going to give all this white and make it a little bit more black. And sand the whole thing. Right. And then, do I want to try it? Yes, I'm going to try it. I have my crayons just here in the box. I don't have all the colors, but I do have some colors, and the important colors. and I use them now and again. Let's see how this works with the black. It's not bad. I think the sanding does help in that it won't come off. I do like it like this. And there's a lot of white. I could, I think I'm going to cut this a little bit and give it a little bit of an edge, clean my fingers off. I will be right back. So for the sake of time, I already cut out a little bit of rub-ons I want to use, and I laid it out on the page, but at first I thought I want a little bit more color, and I'm going to do some stenciling. So I'm going to put this to the side, just a little bit. And then I have this stencil from Tim Holtz with some splattering on it. And I have selected, and let's put the paper underneath. I just want a little bit. And I'm gonna use Vintage Photo for it. And then let's see, where do I start? Let's lay it all back. So I cut off some extra, the extra white. I think it's much better like this. I do have, let's get my tweezers, this little guy. This is going here inside. I have the bottle. I could do the bottle right now. Like this, and looks like mouthwash with the blue. Okay. And then I think I have to glue down first this one and then do the rub-on, so it's, or I don't know. What should I do? Let's put the rub-on on. Like this. Let's see how I'm going to position it a little bit. I think, yes. This, and now I can remove it. Rub it on. Yes. Really nice. Like this. And I could, I think I'm going to do that. I could also cut a kind of a frosty vellum and put that in the circle. So look at this. This is so cool. You know, with this frosty, how is it called? Foil in it. Then we'll just put it here across that bug. Just look how this is great, right? And I put a little bit of fabric on there because I thought it needed something when I put the bottle on it. So like this. Let me show you. I thought it would look very cool to put just a little bit of this fabric underneath. So I'm going to glue it all down. Oh, that looks very nice. I like it. And I don't think I want to, I think this is okay now. Don't want to, except for the crackle paste, I don't want to add anything. And then I can do the back side. And oh, what I forgot. Oh, that's not really smart of me. I forgot a label. Oei. Oh, that's Dutch. Oei. Oh. I could cut a little strip off the label, of course, because I don't like it that it goes over this magnifying glass. So the tag is on, and I also, because I couldn't help myself, put some crackle paste on the magnifying glass and the bottle, but it still has to dry. I tried it a little bit with the heating tool, but I also want to give it a little bit of an air dry. And then the back side, I had chosen some rub-ons, and I need to sand this piece of fern. let's do that. Glue it, and I'm very happy I had chosen to use some supplies I didn't use. I bought them, but I didn't use them, like the rub-ons and the graphical layers. It really challenges, well, I challenge myself to use it. And then I come up with a lot of ideas, so it's very nice to challenge yourself. So if you have like stuff laying around, you bought like, oh, I like this, and then you never use it, and challenge yourself to use it in a project. So I'm going to rub these rub-ons. And let's see. Oh, that's not bad. So it's going to be careful. The front side is a bit wet, so I think this is nice for the back side. And I will come back to show you, because I'm going to glue, of course I'm going to glue this in, but I have to wait for this to dry. The crackle paste didn't need a lot of time to dry, so it's already dry. So it's just like a 50 minutes later. And well, I thought it would crackle more than it did, but it's just fine, you know. It's next time I will do it differently, I guess, but it's, you know, I'm okay with it. But wait till you look on the inside, because I do like the inside. Look at this. Isn't this great? I really like the distressed look of this. And then these with the double. And I'm glad I did it. I glued it, just glued this one down. I do like it. And then the back side, I did a little bit of some splatter stamping to finish it. And this is the third file folder. So with 1 and 2, we have it complete. And I'm really, really glad, really pleased with it. And going to make a cover to put this all in, and it's nice and bulky, but I had a fourth element, and I'm going to add it to this, and that is a little notebook. And I already started with it because I had the word observation in the rub-ons, and this is the coffee dyed paper, and I only just like distressed the edges, put a label on it. That's the only thing I did, and it already looks really great. And I have the lined paper inside, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to finish it in part 4 when I also make the cover. And I'm going to add this as a fourth element, and this is going to be bound in a paper bag cover. That's going to be really awesome. So see you back in part 4.